Welcome back, everyone. This is Bevan with Tried and True EDC. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the latest iteration of the Spyderco Military 2. This is a Cutlery Shoppe exclusive, and they use CTS-XHP with orange scales. Before we jump in, I do want to give a shout out to Cutlery Shoppe. They tend to give you a lot of goodies. You got some Tootsie Pops, a pen, baggage tag, stickers. So really awesome to see this. Just a nice little touch. All right, let's jump into the knife. So CTS-XHP has not been as popular as it used to be. This is a carpenter steel, and it's very similar to S30V and S35VN in terms of edge retention. And the goal was to combine the high corrosion resistance of 440C with a high hardness of D2 when they were thinking about creating this steel. I'll leave some resource links you can check out from Knife Nerds where it goes into a bit of information. It is a stainless steel, however, the corrosion resistance isn't as high as I think the goal when they created this. Centering on this particular example is very well done. Maybe a smidge on the presentation side, slightly favoring in it. It does come tipped down from the factory, but lots of options to switch it up for tip up or if you're a left-handed carry. Now, I know most people, I think there are more people who like tip up than tip down. However, I would argue that the military models, including the first one where you didn't have the option to switch the clip, functions better as a tip down. Because as you're pulling out the pocket, your thumb is already at the opening hole. And I've tested it out. I've swapped this to tip up, and it's, for me, once I extract it, I have to reorient my hand to be able to get to deployment. I took a look at the grind, and you can see that little area right here towards the tip, how it's upswept where the edge, the bevel is. If you look at the other side, it's much more even. So the grind is uneven, and it's a steeper angle on this side, meaning degrees per side is actually lower. Now, I wonder if it's sharp. I've yet to be disappointed by a Spyderco from the factory, so in terms of sharpness. Oh yeah, it's sharp. Thank you, Spyderco, for making sure your knives are still sharp after all these years. Well, at least from the factory, right? Now, the orange handles. For me, this is very functional. The purpose of bright handles typically is to ensure you have visibility on it. So if you're out and about where you're working, this is your user, you're in the field or whatever environment you're in, that those handles, these scales, are going to make it a lot easier to spot. So you don't end up losing it, or if you misplace it, you'll be able to see it a lot easier. I do appreciate that Spyderco in the recent years have gone to black liners for their DLC models. Action's good on this one. Almost freely drop shut to close. A little bit of breaking in is needed, but that's perfectly fine. I made a recent video about the Magna Cut version that popped out, and I believe I made a comment about how I've been noticing that the tip down option on the Military 2 creates pressure towards on the pivot, so it's less likely to drop shut unless it's tip up. However, I was testing it against a S90V version I have, and that's not the case. That one is still tip down oriented and it drops freely. So I'm going to find that as a unvalidated claim. And truly, I'd rather carry this larger knife tip down. That's just my preference. Yeah. So Cutlery Shoppe does had many models using this color combination and steel combination. They've done it for the Perry Military 2, the Shaman. I want to say the Mannix 2. Well, the PM2 and the Shaman are the ones that stick out prominently in my memory. But they've had some exclusives for Spyderco throughout the years. I mean, is this not the perfect Halloween carry? Colors just simply resonate with that holiday. Excited to add another one to the Military 2 collection. And I will make it a point to carry this when Halloween comes around. Feels great in hand. I've had the tip up oriented before, and really the clip positioning won't make any noticeable difference in terms of ergonomics. Still comfortable. You might feel just a pinch of pressure right there, but nothing that's a deal breaker. Nothing that would cause any discomfort. I like the way Spyderco does the DLC. It has a very matte finish to it. Well, I guess it's different, right? Some DLC is more glossy, and if they put a mirror finish DLC, those are pretty nice too. This dropped on April 3rd. Cutlery Shoppe. I haven't checked recently prior to this video, but I think I checked the day after. It was still in stock. The thing about exclusives, though, I've seen that there is a chance that it'll come back out again. So it really just depends, I think, on the success of the drop. Maybe the timetable on Spyderco's end, whether or not they can produce a second batch of an exclusive. But I've seen DLT and Blade HQ both drop the same exclusive at different times, like a second batch. So really no urgency to get one. It's unlike a sprint, which typically is a one and done batch run. Military 2 is quickly becoming one of my favorite models. I've always been a fan of the Military 1, and which is either a frame lock or a liner lock, but this is just the larger PM2 in my opinion. Except for, I mean, this portion of the handle does curve a bit, so that's different. But I mean, with the compression lock, four-way clip positioning, it's essentially the larger version of the PM2. Let me know if you got one of these as well, or any questions or comments. I'll drop some links in the description. A little bit on the steel. If it's still available, I'll post the link for Cutlery Shoppe. I mean, this color combo is probably not for everyone, so um, but I do enjoy the model itself, and I think it fits a certain task if needed. You know, if you're out and about using it in the field, you don't want to lose your knife. Having that orange scale is gonna definitely be a plus. All right. Well, as always, I really appreciate you tuning in, and let me know if you have any questions. Stay frosty.